Is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero a bad game? Or did us as the fans ruin the game? Let's take a deep dive into Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. In order for us to really talk about Sparking Zero, we have to go back to its predecessor, the original Sparking series, or better known as the Tenkaichi series. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi was first introduced in October 2005 as a PlayStation 2 exclusive. The release of this 3D arena fighter was huge in regards to the past releases as 2D fighting games. The following year, Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2 was released with an emphasis on the story mode being open world free roam, a never before seen mechanic held to a Dragon Ball game that excited the fans as players navigate through different story arcs from Dragon Ball Z, including movies and TV specials. In 2007 marked the last year of the Tenkaichi franchise for years to come until Sparking Zero's release. Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 releases the following year, which featured 162 characters, almost the largest in any fighting game. With the sales of the Wii and PlayStation 2 combined, Tenkaichi 3 sold 3 million copies worldwide. I would remember coming home from school as a kid and popping in my Dragon Ball disc and just sitting there for hours playing Ultimate Battle or hearing Chi-Chi in the character encyclopedia.
It's that Super Saiyan I hate! Why did everyone in my family become so delinquent?
In all, the game had a good amount of replayability, either with friends or family, or just by yourself, trying to one-shot enemies through story mode or being an ultimate battle connoisseur. This marked the final release for the Tenkaichi or Sparking series. Until now, 2024, 17 years have passed and the fans were hungry. 3 million copies of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero were sold in the very first 24 hours. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero starts us off with their story mode, referred to as Episode Battle. You are able to play as one of the following 8 characters: Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Piccolo, Future Trunks, Frieza, Goku Black, and Jiren. In Episode Battle, you follow their story progression through their eyes, and if certain conditions are met, a what-if scenario is activated and you are able to play through these what-if sagas. Upon completing story mode, you're now left with limiting options: World Tournament mode, Custom Battle mode, or Online Ranked and Player Match. The World Tournament is pretty much spot on with the previous games. No huge changes or takeaways besides the crowd control option. In the World Tournament map, if you launch an ultimate attack, the crowd runs away from the stage, a very niche idea when proposed, but after viewing the cutscene over 100 times, it's just repetitive and takes away from the fight you are in. The way the tournaments work are the same as well. You fight your way up through a bracket, qualifying for semi-final and final placements up to the end. Before the game's release, there was a huge selling point into the custom battles option. Many others and I were excited for this mode, as it gave us the option to control our favorite character's behavior and dialogue, creating epic or wholesome battles. Essentially, we were promised full-scale customizable battles. And what did we get? A lackluster, barely custom battle mode. Most of the custom battles you see are silent and barren. No voice lines or dialogue or even a unique interaction. The player base has tried to make use of this mode, but when you enter one of these custom battles, it's just characters walking on the stage, waving or powering up in silence. Half the time the battles don't even make sense. This mode was a huge letdown and hindered the replayability of this mode. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero was the first to introduce an online ranked mode. It lets a player who has been playing Dragon Ball games for years now to finally put their honed skills to the test. Or you thought so. When you go online, rather DP team battles or single character battles, you are faced with anything but skill. 9 out of 10 players will wait the timer on team battles, run away from you to take less damage, or leave the match entirely once they think they will lose with no consequence added to their game. It rips out the enjoyment of the entire online mode. But the worst part is when playing single matches, characters with an instant sparking power-up skill will keep on spamming their ultimates until they get lucky or rush you with Ki Blast the entire fight from a distance. Every now and then you will run into players who actually enjoy the game for what it is and give you a good and balanced fight. There are 2 types of players in this game when it comes to online. You're either a respectable skilled player who has mastered counters and dodging, or a complete douchebag who runs away from the fight using the strongest characters in the game, spamming broken skills and unblockable supers. While there are ways to combat the unnecessary cheese in the online mode, it just makes the combat feel spineless and a one-sided enjoyment from these type of fights. That alone is enough for any gamer to take a break indefinitely from the game or until they see a change. The community to this game has a role in its issues, but the game is still very enjoyable with family and friends. The lack of offline replayability hinders its performance to the casual gamer. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is an amazing game, but like most games, it has its issues.